His father was watching a football game, some rerun from the night before. There was a glass filled with orange liquid next to him. He turned and gestured at the screen. "Don't tell me the score." That made Dan smile. No big welcome. He held up the bag containing cider bottles, the usual admission price. "Usual place? As long as they can't see them, the staff don't mind. Except when you've had too much and you get angry over something." He waved his good hand in dismissal. His other was curled up like a claw and rested in his lap. "I'm calming down as I get older. What brings you here?" "Just passing." "You always say that. You can admit you like to spend a bit of time with your old man." And he cackled. "In these mellow years I become, that's a word, avuncular? You didn't inherit your fancy words from me, but that sounds like it. Avuncular." His eyes narrowed as his smile faded. "What's on your mind, son?" Dan shook his head. "Nothing." "You're lying to me. I can see fear in your eyes, and I know that look. I've seen it so often with people who think they're about to lose everything and not sure if they got enough fight in them. What is it? Your business gone wrong? A case?" Dan wondered whether his father was the man to confide in about the threat with the knife, but as he thought about what to say, he realized that he hadn't ended up here by accident. Once he'd hidden the cider, he sat down and asked, "Back in the old days when there were still industries to save, what did you say to those who didn't see the point in fighting?" "I told them that it's not about the size of the fight or whether you'll win, but about how you'll feel if you just give in and let them win." "Whatever the risk." "Exactly that. The people I used to stand alongside often had nothing to lose. The factories were going to close anyway, or the pay rises were never going to happen. During the miners' strike, do you think we ever really thought we would win? Not a chance. But it meant we could look our children and grandchildren in the eye, when they had no future, no community, and say that we did our best. It's always better to fight and lose than just accept the loss." Dan smiled. "I never took you for the homespun wisdom type." "Oh, yes, you did, because that's why you come here. You're bloody-minded, won't admit a weakness. You get that from me, I suppose, but at least it means you can learn from my mistakes." "And what mistakes have you made?" "I regret the fights I didn't have more than the ones I did." "What if it feels dangerous?" "When you win, those are the fights that feel the best of all." Dan stood and patted his father on his shoulder. "Thank you. Not staying for the game?" He pointed at the television. "I know the score." His father winked. "Thanks to the cider. All I've got is my memories and you. The least I can do is share what I have." That closed Dan's throat and made him swallow. He went for the door, needing to get outside. Just as he got there, his father shouted out, "Just be careful." Dan shouted back, as always, before returning to the corridor, the warmth even more cloying than before. Mayfield Avenue was a long street of red-brick semi-detached houses with bay windows and brick walls that protected small front gardens, roses round many of the porches. There were no cars on the street, the driveways wide enough to accommodate them, all safely behind gates. One side backed onto a street of identical houses, whereas the other had the rugby fields behind it, green and open, the white posts visible behind. As she approached number 15, Jayne saw how it was different from the rest. At the end of every driveway there was a garage. Some were in better condition than others, and some nothing more than dilapidated workshops. At the end of the driveway for number 15, however, there was open garden, the memory erased of whatever happened there more than 20 years earlier. Jayne wasn't convinced it had worked. Rather than scrubbing away the memory, it highlighted it, conspicuous by its absence. There's no point knocking on the door of Rodney Walker's old house. Jayne presumed that the owner had bought it after Rodney had been incarcerated, either unwittingly or at a knockdown price, and prepared to overlook the past. It was the neighbours who would provide the answers. She started at number 17. A bright new porch had been built on the front. After a few seconds of pressing the bell, an old man with salt and pepper hair and a tight blue jumper appeared, his stomach protruding over his belt. "Yes?" "I'm here about next door," and she jabbed her finger towards Rodney's old house. "Are they out? I can see their car." "No, I mean the man who lived here 20 years ago." The man straightened and folded his arms. "What's all the sudden interest?" "Do you mean the reporter, a few months ago?" "Aye. Some southern chap asking a lot of questions and upsetting people." "Why upsetting them?" "Because he thought Rodney didn't kill those kids." "Really? That's what he said?" "He tried to, but I told him straight, no more of that talk. One of those kids was killed in his damn garage. That reporter was just another fool looking for a headline." "Did you know he was dead?" "Rodney? Good. Keeping him alive served nothing. No, the reporter. He was called Mark Roberts.